Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all good. Now this video is directly following on from the last video where I was fully inspired by Never Perfect Resin's technique where she dipped silicone molds to create some marbling, and oh my gosh, in the last video you would have seen I used neon spray paints, but in this video we are using the metallics and the standard spray paints from Rust-Oleum, very similar to the technique used by Never Perfect Resin. I fell in love with her marbling results and I really want to try and get them for myself. So I am using gold, white and pink, and these are the only three colors I'm using. We're doing three completely different colorways, and yeah, make sure you shake your cans well and truly before use. And I am now out in the garden. First up, I am going to do a gold on its own and then followed by white and pink, and we're going to do a combination of those colors as well. But first up is the gold. I've got some warm water in my bucket here, but guys, I do need to shout out and say a massive happy birthday to Morna. Morna comes into all of my live chats. She did not ask me to do this, by the way, but it is her birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Anyway, also thanks to Morna, she gave me some alternative words to use instead of the word obsessed, as many of you have. So guys, just wait for it. Wait for it. I am ready, and you are not ready for my new words, okay? Keep watching to hear them. First up, I sprayed in the gold metallic. Now again, I tried to do that thing where you use the stick to kind of swirl the spray paint around to get a really beautiful marble effect on the surface of the water. But again, it didn't work for me. It all clumped up at the end of the stick, and I figured I would have one more try with the stick to see if I could get it to move at all. And again, it just wasn't working. Now, my water here is lukewarm to hot. Is that something I should try maybe with cold water? Does it work best with cold water? Also, Never Perfect Resin, if you are watching this, did you use cold water? Let me know your thoughts. I decided to just wait until I was happy with a pattern on the surface and dunk my mold. Anyway, this is what we are looking like. Now, in Never Perfect Resin's video, she also she kind of like double dipped, like she went back in with her silicone mold. So I did decide with everything that's left on the surface, I was just going to try and pick it up in the areas that I've missed to try and get some of that pattern up the sides and up the edges of this silicone mold. Now, whilst it did work, it was definitely clear to me that the results were best when the silicone mold was fully dry. You pick up so much more when the silicone mold is fully dry, because once the mold was wet, I just found it was repelling the spray paint. So again, I wasn't really doing as good a job as I would have liked, but I was still happy with the results. Now, oh my gosh, stop it. Next up, we are going gold and white together. Just gold and white. And I decided to do what I did in the last video, just spray one color after the other, white gold, white gold, white gold, white gold, etc. But my white was running out. I was so upset. I was like, why have I not got another white spray paint? Like, I'm literally at the bottom of the can and it was really struggling. You can see here, there's barely any coming out. But this area here, yes, please. This is the area that I'm going to dip. Again, I'm just putting my silicone mold real slowly into that water in the hopes that it picks up that exact area of spray paint that I was in love with. And this is the one I'm excited about. Look at this. I mean, stop it. There were clumps and bumps and I was trying to press it back down, but honestly, it was coming off. So don't do that. Just trust the process that it will eventually dry out and flatten down. And that was all I could say about that one. I could not wait for the results of that one. I was already in love with the effect on the mold, so I knew that once we demolded, it was going to be a wow. With the third one, I decided to just go crazy, just with the pink and the gold, because I'd run out of white at this point. I was just throwing in some pink, going straight over the top with the gold, straight over the top with the pink. over the top with the gold, that kind of thing. I wasn't doing it in lines or layers, and it gave us this super beautiful marble result, and I was really happy at this point. So mold number 3 was going in, being lowered down slowly and gently into the water, and making sure that I could cover as much of the mold as possible before shaking it off, in the water, and getting all the excess off. This is what we're looking like with the gold and the pink. Honestly, so excited. The next step was just to leave them out in the sun. It was kind of like a sunny, cloudy day, leaving them out in the sun to dry as much as possible before bringing them in and using a paper towel. Now, the results of the gold for me were a little bit lackluster. They weren't filling my heart with joy, but this one, stop it now. I was so excited to see the results of this one. This one in the middle screams marble quartz worktop to me, like kitchen marble quartz, just stunning results. Now, back upstairs, this is about half an hour to 40 minutes later. There was still some surface water. Of course, the sun is not going to get it dried out in the time frame that I had. So I did use, again, my paper towel to fully dry the surface areas, making sure that there were no water droplets whatsoever, but also that the spray paint was as dry as it could be before it was time to pour the resin. Now, this took me ages. I did spend a good 10-15 minutes doing this, so I've cut it all off because you guys do not need to watch me do that in real time. They are all getting backed in white. They are all getting backed in. I'm too scared at this point to use any other colour. I just knew that this is going to be the best background for the marble at this stage. Now, I've mixed up around 600 grams of resin, 200 each, and it was pretty much spot on. I had a little bit left over, but yeah, it worked a dream. And I'm using the Vista white pigment, and honestly, any resin you have is good at this point, any resin. But if you are looking for an epoxy resin, I've got a ton of codes down below because I do use quite a few different resins, just making sure that I had enough for each and every tray. And once I was happy they were fully filled up, I then just used the rest of the white resin to make some little white hearts. Nothing special, but they just go into my little collection. I definitely don't just drain it away and pour it in the bin because that is a waste. Always have a mold to hand. This is what we're looking like. This is the next day, and I don't think you're ready. I was not ready. I am telling you now, if this is not the best method for resin marbling that I have ever done, thanks to Never Perfect Resin for this technique, because the results are amazing. First up, we have the pink and the gold. Oh my gosh. Now, I'm always worried. I'm always worried. I've only done this twice. I've been worried about the clumpiness of the spray paint, but you just don't have to worry. It blends in and it becomes integrated into that surface, and it's like you don't know. It honestly looks like inks, like marbling inks. I wonder if that would work. Next up, we have the gold on its own. Again, this definitely looks very kind of organic and stony. It's giving me bland vibes, but still pretty. I am not disappointed in this at all. Again, spray paint is well and truly integrated, and I am so happy. As for the final one, guys, this took my breath away. Like, this for me, as soon as I took that mold off, immediately wow. Absolutely stunning. The way the white has gone murky and given us this greyish beige. Usually I'd say obsessed, but thanks to my Nuthosaurus from Morna, I am captivated, consumed, immersed, and undeniably in the grip of infatuation with this one. What do you guys think? Is that better than saying obsessed? Obsessed was a lot easier to say, I'm not gonna lie. It only took 10 takes before I got that out in one breath, but oh my goodness me, this technique is next level. Wow, there is no denying that I could not get these marbling techniques with resin alone. I have tried resin marbling and never got results like this. Now, as for the edges, do not neglect your edges, and I honestly regret this. You really need to pay attention to your edges in the same way that Julia Roberts never neglected her gums. You never need to neglect your edges like this. I really should have gone in with a micro brush, gone in and around those edges, which I often do, and I do more than not. But for some reason, I think I just got so excited about this one, I completely forgot about my edges and neglected them, so they are rough, and I'm really sad about it. Now, again, these could really do with a top coat, but I ran out of time to get this video out for tonight. Imagine these with a slick, glossy top coat. I think they will be absolutely stunning. Again, I don't think you need to see that. If you saw the last video, then I showed how to top coat them in the last video. But this one here, guys, is anyone seen an elephant? Like an actual elephant's eye on the right, and then the trunk coming down, and then a leg at the back, and then an ear? Is it just me? Is anyone seeing the elephant in that absolutely stunning tray? That is my favorite. Let me know your thoughts on this video. Let me know if it's inspired you. As for this tray at the top, now this was the plain gold. This is giving me gold foil vibes. Like, I have done a tray before where I've rubbed foil on to the silicone mold, creating gaps and airy, like areas where there is no foil. That reminds me of that result. But again, I don't dislike it. I just don't love it as much as this one at the bottom. This has blown my socks off. Oh, guys, I have to say it. I'm obsessed. Because I can't say that sentence again. Like, there's too many big words in there for me. But yes, love, love, love. And honestly, none of this would have been possible if I did not see that video from Never Perfect Resin. So huge shout out to you. Again, I'm going to link Never Perfect Resin down below. It's so important if someone has inspired you to say their name out loud and not pretend that you never saw their video. It's so vital. Let me know what you guys think. I am head over heels in love with this technique. I really want to try it like a plant pot. I know I said I was going to move on, and you guys all want, like the majority of you guys want me to move on to oceans. Happy to do some oceans, but I also feel like I just want to do at least 1 or 2 more videos of maybe later. All right, maybe later in the year. Let me know your thoughts. I'm thinking plant pot. I'm thinking giant plant pot dipped in the white and gold and then filled with white, because how stunning would that be? Anyway, or oh gosh, or the tile coaster mold from Molds and Shapes. Anyway, listen, my brain is going off on one. I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you so much if you're still with me in the live chat. I really appreciate you all so much. And for anyone who couldn't make the live chat, I still love and appreciate you too. Hit that thumbs up if this video has been something that you've enjoyed, because that really helps me out. And if you've not yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It is completely free for you to do so. We love a bargain here. I will see you all on Saturday for the Claire's Crafty Corner, open themed, no theme at all, open crafty collaboration. If you have not yet got involved in that, do get involved. This is going to be my very last open invite collaboration, because I am becoming increasingly time poor and increasingly perimenopausal brain fog, and I'm losing my mind. But that's okay. If you follow me over on my home channel, you'll have heard all about that. But this will be my last collaboration on Saturday, so please join in. You'll find the details over on my Instagram and over here on my community tab on YouTube. I will see you all Saturday. I cannot wait to see what you guys have made. See you then. Bye.